Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? This is my WrestlePalooza predictions for the upcoming wrestling event on our premium live event, I should say, on ESPN, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Let me just start off by saying, yo, $35 to see like one wrestling show is crazy. Miss Peacock already, bro. It used to be $5, bro, a month, so you gotta miss those days. But hey, you could always get a VPN on Netflix. I personally don't have a VPN on Netflix for Netflix, I guess you could say, but you could always do that if you want to wrestle it cheaper. But with that being said, guys, I'm not gonna be one of these fans on here or one of these people on here say, "Oh, yo, it being $35 is gonna make me not watch wrestling anymore. It's gonna make me switch to AEW." Yeah, I don't agree with it being the show being like $35 or $37 what it was. There was basically a lot of billing problems with WrestlePalooza coming up because a lot of people said they bought like a plan or a subscription and they didn't get the wrestling event. They gotta pay more. They got an upcharge after the fact, which is obviously really sketchy. So with that being said, bro, I'm not gonna be one of those people that shit on WWE for going to ESPN, bro. I understand that, look, bro. They want to get their money, bro. So if that's where the money is, that's where the money is. It's like the same thing with them going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 2027, I think it was, or 2026, or whatever. But either way, hey, man, WWE, go get your bag, bro. We are doing a WrestlePalooza predictions. There's only like 4 to 5 matches. I might like predict if something else is on the matches are on this show, I guess you could say. We are gonna predict all the matches. We're gonna predict if there's returns or any surprises during this show. But yeah, with the first match on WrestlePalooza. All right, guys. So they announced that Brock Lesnar versus John Cena is gonna start the show, which is honestly surprised. I thought it could have made a run for like the main event, which I didn't want it to be the main event necessarily because I wanted AJ. I said AJ Styles. Wow, I fell for the memes. AJ Lee and CM Punk versus obviously Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch should be the main event. But hey, man, starting off with this event or this match, I guess you could say, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, bro. There's one of two ways this is could play out, bro. John Cena could win underdog, like he used his Super Cena at the end. Wins this match, boom, boom, boom. Feud is over. Continues on his retirement run. We don't see him till Clash of Paris. Someone could come out, which we'll talk about in a second, or Brock Lesnar could just beat John Cena, and then it sets up for another match, which I obviously don't want. A lot of wrestling fans do not want Brock Lesnar to win this match. But it's kind of like Brock Lesnar loses to Cena. Like, I don't really know. Like, my heart is telling me to go with John Cena beating Brock Lesnar, but my brain is telling me to go with Brock Lesnar beating Cena because I feel like they're gonna have a 2 match, and that's where John Cena inevitably wins. But for the sake of the argument, man, I don't want Brock Lesnar to win this match, but man, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar beating John Cena. I do not want this to happen. I do not want this to happen. I do not want this to happen. But I just feel like with it being like John Cena not on any shows until Clash in Paris, which is in Australia, I believe, or is it Saudi Arabia? I forgot. But either way, they could have that matches instantly lined up for that show. I do have Brock Lesnar winning this match. Once again, I want John Cena to win this match, but I just don't see John Cena winning, unfortunately, man. I really would love to see Cena win. He's my GOAT, favorite wrestler of all time, clear cut number one. But I just truly don't see Brock Lesnar losing because at the end of the day, if John Cena wins, could they have someone come out after the first match and maybe challenge Cena like Dominic Mysterio, returning Chris Jericho is rumored. A lot of other people, Gunther, Ilya Dragunov, a lot of people are like rumored to have that like feud with Cena. But I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar. I feel like WWE is just gonna get kind of lazy. ESPN's gonna be like, hey, we want Brock to win because that's like when ESPN used to have UFC. That's like that could be like their golden child, even though he's obviously not a golden child because you know what he did out there outside of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna speak on that. That's neither here nor there. I do have Brock Lesnar actually winning this match though. I really like this. I want John Cena to win clean, but for the sake of me, I think Brock Lesnar is just gonna win, and then John Cena's gonna have to like find himself like he did in what was it, 2014, 2015, and get his lick back on Brock Lesnar. Hopefully it's not a 3 match feud because that's pretty much the end of John Cena's retirement tour, which was like retirement tour against Brock Lesnar. Is what it is. But now let's put it into another universe. If John Cena does win this match, one-on-one, if Brock Lesnar doesn't destroy him after the match, so they have another match, or if they just shake their hands, go the several ways, and John Cena has to have another feud, I can see maybe Gunther returning and maybe setting up that final like feud for Cena, or I can see maybe Dominic Mysterio coming out being like, hey Cena, you've never been Intercontinental Championship, look what I have, and boom, that was set up for a match. Or maybe like I said, Chris Jericho returns. I don't really necessarily want to see Chris Jericho. I think it'd be interesting to see him back in the WWE necessarily, but I just truly don't think Chris Jericho is unfortunately going to come back to feud with Cena, which I mean, if you hear the music break the walls down, that'd be fucking dope. Don't get me like twisted, bro. But either way, I think Brock Lesnar is going to win this match. I do have Brock Lesnar win this match. But if John Cena does win clean, I can see a Gunther return, setting up a feud for John Cena versus Gunther. Chris Jericho surprising. Wouldn't be surprising, but I would be surprised. You get what I'm saying? But I mostly see if Cena winning this match. Hopefully he has a feud with Dom. Wins the Intercontinental Championship, Grand Slam champion for Cena. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar win this match. I think it's this for a second match, which once again I do not want, bro. Don't cancel me, bro. I want Cena to win, but I just think the writing's on the wall where Brock Lesnar is gonna win. I also can see Cena winning this match with the help from R-Truth. That would be really cool. Actually, you know what? I'm switching my pick. Cena's gonna beat Brock Lesnar with the help from R-Truth. Yep, that's gonna be it right there. And then it's gonna set up for Cena with a feud with whoever comes out after, which I think might be Dom or maybe AJ Styles or someone. Yeah, that's what I'm actually gonna go with. I think R-Truth is gonna get in the middle, Cena's little brother, and help Cena win. Yeah, I just switched my pick live. Yeah, I got John Cena actually beating Brock Lesnar. I think that could be where it goes from here. Actually, yeah, John Cena beating Brock Lesnar with the help from R-Truth. This is my pick. All right, guys. For the next match, we have Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Scott. I'm not gonna lie, bruh. If Io Scott wins this match, I love Io Scott. I think she's amazing. I think obviously Stephanie Vaquer is amazing. I just don't know necessarily where they could go storyline with Io Scott. Maybe they set up a feud for her versus Asuka for the title. I don't think they necessarily need a title for that feud. I think Asuka could just turn heel on Stephanie Vaquer. I'm not Stephanie Vaquer. Asuka could turn heel on Io Scott because like she's kind of like the jealous friend. Like, yo, nobody else can be friends with Io Scott. Only I can. That could set up a feud for them going one-on-one down the road. Now with this, what this does with Kairi Sane, I kind of want to see Kairi Sane stay face, but I feel like she will go heel with Asuka. I think that's where it's setting up with Io Sky after this match is maybe a feud with Asuka one-on-one, or maybe Rhea Ripley and her become a tag team, which is another thing we'll talk about like later in the video. But either way, I got Stephanie Vaquer winning this match. I just think it's kind of like a blank, like if Stephanie wins this match, she could beef with anyone and it would be fresh. She's had her last title reign wasn't really the best because they never put her on TV. But if we have Stephanie as the champion, she hasn't really beefed with anybody. She could bring up and comers to beef with her. She could have like Ivy Nile. She could have someone that we wouldn't expect Io Sky to necessarily feud with. And I think Stephanie Vaquer, her first feud probably be with Rhea Ripley. But either way, I do have Stephanie Vaquer winning this match. I just think it would be a better outlook for WWE because they could go in any direction with Stephanie Vaquer as champion. If Io Sky wins, it's kind of like really not many directions she could go because they're going to want to see her beef against maybe like Asuka, Kairi Sane if Kairi Sane goes heel with Asuka, Rhea Ripley. It's going to be like the same kind of repetitive things we already seen. And I'm not shitting on Io Sky. I think she's an amazing woman. I think she's amazing talent. I think she's one of the best women wrestlers, if not the best women wrestler in the world. But I just don't think WWE is going to give that opportunity. Plus, they already had like the Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi like feud that was going to go for last pay-per-view. Obviously didn't happen because Naomi got pregnant. Shout out to Naomi and Big Jim. Hopefully their baby's healthy and they have a great like pregnancy and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Stephanie Vaquer win this match. I think it's just also like once again a clean slate, a whole bunch of new feuds that could come out of this. Stephanie versus Ivy Nile, basically anyone they really want to. Maybe a heel turn, basically anyone, bro. So with that being said, I do have Stephanie Vaquer win this match. I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. What would ruin this match for me is if it ends in a no contest, which I physically don't think it will. Or if it becomes like a bloodline rules match where like Io starts getting a tag mid match and Rhea, like, I just want them to have a one-on-one match. Now, if Asuka comes out, turns heel after cool, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, just a clean one-on-one. Because the two times that we've had this one-on-one match ends in no contest, bro. Obviously, for a championship, it physically really can't end in no contest. But I hope it just doesn't end because someone got interfered on. I just want a clean one-on-one match. Just what I want. And if that happens, either way, I do think Stephanie wins the match. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. I've been yapping too long. I got Stephanie Vaquer being the women's world champion, her first title in WWE. I mean, like in the main roster, I should say. But yeah, I got Stephanie Vaquer beating Io Sky, and that sets up for Io Sky versus Asuka. Kairi Sane if Kairi Sane goes here. Once again, I want Kairi Sane to stay face. I think it'd be kind of interesting to see her like tween between who to pick, but I do have, like I said, Io Sky losing this match to Stephanie Vaquer sets up a feud for Io and Asuka when Asuka inevitably turns heel on Io Sky. Alright guys, so this is the only image I really could find of the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, bro. And I'm going to keep this short and frank, bro. I think LA Knight gets involved in this match, not necessarily costing Jimmy Uso the match, but he cost the Usos the match because he's trying to like get his leg back on Jay. I think he's going to get someone involved, or maybe it could come up with a storyline where the Usos win, feel good moment, you have the first Usos win back. But I'm going to go with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I feel like they're going to set up a program where they go after like the Judgment Day for the tag team titles, which I think would obviously be a really good refresher for the tag team division. I truly do think Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker could build up the tag team division. Maybe with the Usos inevitably or eventually winning the titles back, or maybe Penta and Ray Phoenix if they form up as a tag team. But With that being said, I do have the Usos losing this match. I don't think Jey Uso is turning heel, which a lot of people are expecting. I don't think necessarily LA Knight is turning heel right now. Maybe down in a few years he'll turn heel or whoop de whoop, whatever. You never know what can happen. I don't necessarily think Jey Uso is gonna turn heel. I think he's gonna be a more serious, like, you feel me, like himself, because with Roman taking out, he's trying to step up for Roman. But with that being said, yeah, guys, I got the bronze. That's the bronze. I'm gonna call him the bronze. I got the bronze winning. I just don't think the Usos win this match. Maybe the Usos do win with help from LA Knight. Maybe it's like a Jey Uso and LA Knight like finally understand each other. Like, yo, they're just trying to take down the bad guy. I do think the Usos and maybe LA Knight and someone else could be in the War Games match down the line if they keep continuing this to go, where I think it will obviously continue to go. But yeah, I think the Usos are gonna lose this match because LA Knight gets in the way. And makes it look like he's trying to turn heel or he's trying to target Jay, and the Bronze take it over and win this match. I could see obviously the Usos winning. Feel good story. LA Knight helps the Usos. Maybe more helping Jimmy. But with that being said, I do have the Bronze winning, bro. I just don't think, like, if they keep losing to a point, it's kind of like, they're not really like a big scary monster anymore. You get what I'm saying? Even if they get help and still lose, or if you could say if they lose to someone who gets help, I just don't believe in them. But if the Bronze lose this match, bro, clean, bro, it's gonna look real scary for the Bronze. I just wouldn't see them as a threat anymore. So I have them winning, maybe with LA Knight trying to help the Usos win, but obviously fucks up or some way, and then the Bronze take it over, bro. But with that being said, I do think this is setting up for a War Games match down the line. But obviously the Vision versus the Good Guys, whoever you want to put on the Good Guys roster, Good Guys team, you could go there. But I do have the Bronze winning. I just think, like, once again, LA Knight's gonna get involved, and it's gonna create more friction with Jey Uso. But I also can see, like, yo, LA Knight helps the Usos win, and Jey Uso's like, all right, bro, I believe in you. You get what I'm saying? But for the safe pick, bro, I'm gonna go with the Bronze, because I feel like if they keep losing, it's just, they're not gonna be like scary, like, oh, your lackeys keep losing. Like, why would we be worried about Seth Rollins and whoop-de-whoop? You get what I'm saying? All right, guys, for the next match, we got Cody Rhodes, WWE Champion versus Drew McIntyre. This one I've been kind of going back and forth. I can see Drew McIntyre winning if Cody Rhodes is busy with Street Fighter, but I'm not gonna do it, bro. I got Cody winning, bro. I think this is gonna be a phenomenal match. I can see this honestly being a long feud where, like, they have maybe 3 matches, bro. But I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes. I think he's gonna be maybe looking like scary, like he's not gonna win this match. Not like looking scary, but like looking like the match is gonna be like, oh shit, Drew's gonna win. He's gonna beat Cody Rhodes. Cody's gonna go off to a Street Fighter, and you're gonna have Randy Orton come out and help Cody Rhodes win. I just don't think necessarily, bro. ESPN, bro, they have to be smart. They have to know the impact of Randy Orton. So not having him on the show, like in a match itself, is kind of crazy. So I feel like we're gonna see Randy Orton in this match. I got Cody Rhodes beating Drew McIntyre. I think you might set up for also like a thing where Drew might go and join the Vision, not like be a member of the Vision, but like in the War Games match. You get what I'm saying? Because he also doesn't like Roman Reigns. He doesn't like the Usos. So he might want to get his lick there. So with that being said, I do have Cody Rhodes winning this match against Drew McIntyre. I think it's gonna be help from Randy Orton, and that might set up their feud where Randy Orton's gonna be like, hey bro, I helped you out. Like, can I get my shot? You get what I'm saying? And then inevitably Randy Orton turns heel, or maybe even Cody turns heel. But with that being said, I do have Cody Rhodes win this match. Now if this was like, say for example, they already fought twice or fought once, this was the second match. Say if they already fought already, like Cody and Drew, and this was the second match, I would see Drew winning it. Probably because a second match, I just don't think Drew's gonna win the first match between him and Cody. I mean, I know they obviously wrestled like, what was it, a year ago, but I'm talking about like in this feud, I don't see Drew winning their first match. I think he would have a better chance of winning the championship in the second match. But with that being said, I do have Cody winning that. Like I said, I think he's gonna get help from Randy Orton. I think it's gonna set up where Drew goes and helps the Vision versus the Good Guys, the Bloodline, whatever. And then it's going to be Cody and Randy Orton feuding inevitably. So that's the feud everybody else wants to see. So with that being said, I do have Cody Rhodes beating Drew McIntyre with the help from Randy Orton. I think this will be a phenomenal match. I think there might be a few months where you're like, oh shit, Drew's going to win. But inevitably Randy Orton comes out, helps Cody. I just don't understand how ESPN could make this show or buy out WWE or whatever the case and not have Randy Orton in a match. So I feel like this is where Randy Orton's music is going to hit. And it's going to be like, oh shit, Randy Orton, boom. And there we go. So I think Cody Rhodes is going to win this match, like I said. There's only one more match to predict, bro, and that's the big one. But with that being said, yeah, I got Cody Rhodes winning, help from Drew McIntyre. I think it sets up down the line for Drew to go help the Vision in the War Games match, and Cody to maybe feud with Randy Orton. So hopefully y'all like that pick. Let's get to the last one. All right, guys, for the final match, we have AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and obviously Becky Lynch. This match could be honestly ruin the night if Becky Lynch and I think Seth Rollins when AJ Lee hasn't wrestled in 10 years, bro. Obviously, CM Punk, he lost his first match comeback, which was a Royal Rumble, but that was like a match with like 30 people in it. So the odds of him winning doesn't really knock him because there's so many people in the match, bro. Basically not a one-on-one, a two-on-two, like where it's just them, bro. I gotta go with CM Punk and AJ Lee, bro. AJ Lee has to pin Becky Lynch. That would be sick. Obviously, if CM Punk pins Seth Rollins, that would be pretty cool. But I don't necessarily think Punk or AJ Lee can lose this match because if you're trying to set up like Punk, you're like going after Rollins for that title, how can you go after the title if he lost? Same thing with AJ Lee. How could she go after the Intercontinental Championship if she lost? If she got pinned, either or got pinned. I think, bro, with it closing out the show, I think this is gonna be the main event. I'm predicting this to be the main event. AJ Lee and Punk are gonna win. They're gonna have the feel good moment at the end of the show, bro. I would say this might be where Paul Heyman returns and distracts AJ Lee, or maybe even CM Punk. I just don't see it, bro. I got AJ Lee pinning Becky Lynch for the win. I think it's a set up a story where AJ Lee inevitably goes after Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship, and that's maybe where Roxanne Perez gets involved. You know, not mentor, but like favorite versus like someone who you get what I'm saying, like because Roxanne Perez looked up to AJ Lee or looked up to AJ Lee or modeled her whatever game after AJ Lee, whatever you want to say. I think that's where it's gonna end up going. I do think the good guys win here, bro. I got CM Punk still going after that World Heavyweight title. I got AJ Lee going after the Intercontinental title. I got Punk and AJ Lee winning this match. If they lose this match, I'm honestly gonna be really disappointed, bro. Cause it's kind of like, damn, bro, like where could they go? But yeah, guys, I got basically, like I said, AJ Lee and CM Punk win this match. This is my WrestlePalooza predictions. I want to know how the numbers do with it being $30 for you to see the show. They probably won't release the numbers like how good they sold, but it is what it is, guys. I got AJ Lee and CM Punk winning this match. I think it's just gonna set up the feud where each of them is chasing the belt of the respectful belt. They're going for Punk going up for the heavyweight title, AJ Lee going for the women's intercontinental championship. I think that's where the feud is gonna go. With that being said, guys, these are my WrestlePalooza predictions. I had to practice before the video how to say Palooza like 5 times. Dumb wrestling show name, but hey. Fuck it, we ball. I think WWE might have a better show than All Out. No disrespect to AEW fans. Don't argue with me, argue with a wall. But these are my WrestlePalooza predictions. Let me know what you think here, bro. Obviously, if you don't agree, you don't agree. If you agree, you agree. But with that being said, these are my WrestlePalooza predictions, guys. Let me know if you disagree with any of my picks. Let me know if you see anyone returning. Let me know if you got a prediction. If you're seeing this video, so comment, like, subscribe, all that good shit, bro. Hopefully we have a good show, bro. Are you paying for it? Or are you illegally streaming it? Comment below. Y'all have a great day, man. Peace. I'm out.